Hello again, everyone. I'm here with some new inks that I'm going to be swatching today. So these are super exciting. These are Troublemaker inks, and they are kind of hard to come by these days because whenever they come in stock, they sell out immediately. I bought these at Sugar Inks or Sugure. I don't know how you pronounce the ink shop, but I'll put a link to them below. They're really great. They have a really wide variety of interesting inks, but I think they're one of the only distributors in the United States for the Troublemaker brand. So I'd gotten an email from them that these were going to be coming back in stock, and I kind of marked it on my calendar and went in because I knew that they were popular. And literally like 5 minutes after the start time of when these went on sale, they sold out. So I would say sign up for the newsletter for that ink place, and when they come back in stock, they'll probably let you guys know. So I got 2 different colors here, which I'll show you in a minute. And then I also got this Montblanc ink in Toffee Brown. I had seen some swatches of it online and it looked really pretty, and I had never tried out Montblanc inks before, so I thought I would try it. I got this off of Amazon. It was fairly inexpensive. Normally I think they're a little bit more expensive, but I was able to get it pretty inexpensive on Amazon. And I'll put a link to that below as well. So here I have my swatch book for my fountain pen inks, and then I have my automatic pen and my glass pen for the swatches. I will, as always, when I do ink swatches, I will put a link below to the video where I talk about this setup. And then, because I'm not going to go into any detail as to what the individual items are in here, I'm just going to do the swatches in it. So go back to that video if you want to see how this setup works. All right, so I have a page already set aside here. These are my previous swatches, but I have plenty of spaces here to do these. So I think I'm just going to do all 3 of them on this side. Let's go ahead and start with what you all probably will think is the least interesting, which is the Mont Blanc. So I don't know how I feel about Mont Blanc. I don't have any pens by them, but I know that a lot of people have them, and it's sort of like a cult following for Mont Blanc pens. But they're super expensive, and I just don't know if they're really worth the price. Not only are they not, I don't know if they're worth the price, but I don't know if I could afford them. And there seem to be a lot of fakes out there. I have seen a lot of Mont Blanc pens on resale sites, and I have been very hesitant to get any off of those sites because I hear that there are a lot of fakes floating around. Okay, so this is actually a very beautiful brown. I've been kind of in search of a perfect brown. I do already have some brown inks, but none of them really appeal to me all that much, just because sometimes they're just like sort of a flat brown. I was looking for sort of a mahogany red type brown, and I think this might fit the bill. So this is Montblanc, although I think that really is technically one word, but that's okay. Toffee Brown. It seems like a pretty wet ink because it's laying down a pretty thick line here on the page. Usually that's an indicator to me, if it's running off of the glass pen really thickly like that, that it's going to be sort of a wet writer in a pen. So I'm going to go ahead and close this one up, and I will give you a close-up here before I get into the Troublemaker inks. Put that off to the side. So yeah, it has some really pretty shading. I think I like that a lot. We'll see how it behaves in pens. Like I said, this is my first ink from them, so we'll see. All right, so I'm going to go on to the Troublemaker inks, which were kind of the star of the show. Let's see, maybe I should have unwrapped these. Let's see if I can do this in a, okay, yeah, they're just doubled over. Getting a little bit of, I'm going to actually move that out of the way when I do the other one. They're just wrapped around and sort of looped here. This little rope is, or twine. I wanted to get that out of the way because it was some little fibers from the string were coming out. Okay, so they're wrapped in this beautiful paper. I'm probably going to keep this paper if for no other reason than to put in my bullet journal or something like that. Sorry about all the crinkling here. So there's that one, and then I will undo this one before I get into the bottles themselves. It's kind of nice, and it looks like they have plastic wrap over their caps, which is excellent. And then so you can see, so I have the colors Petrichor and Abalone. And I actually had another couple in my cart because these are only $12 a bottle, but I mean, they are somewhat smaller bottles. Let's see. Oh no, it's actually the same. It's deceptive. So it's the same size as this. This is just in a larger glass jar. This is 60 milliliters, and so is each of these. So it's actually the same amount as this. I did get this a little cheaper than normal, but I think normally it runs about $25 for a bottle of the Montblanc. And like I said, these were only $12 a bottle. So I was trying to get more, but they were sold out. And I just kind of stopped trying because I did not want to end up with nothing. So I'm going to be a little careful about the plastic wrap because they're definitely going to have a little bit of ink on them. Uh-oh, looks like there's even, looks like that little bit broke off there. Oh, now I'm going to get my fingers messy pulling that out. Okay, there we go. Well, like I said, it's not a day in my house if I don't have fountain pen ink on my pen or my hands. So just on my fingers, that looks like a really beautiful color. So that's the Abalone. And then I'm going to take the plastic wrap off of the Petrichor. And I often have issues with liquid items, not exploding, but definitely being a little bit bloated or something like that because of my altitude here in Colorado. Okay, at least I didn't get as much ink on my hand from that one. So I'm going to do the Abalone first. Let me set these off to the side so I don't get ink all over everything. Okay, so let's go with the Abalone. And the jar opening is pretty small. Let's see if I can, oh yeah, it's just big enough for me to get my automatic pen in there. Okay. So, oh, lovely. I can already see some of that bicolor shading showing up in there. That's really pretty. Okay. Going to rinse that automatic pen off, dry it off. I think it's kind of dry today because these inks do seem to be drying rather fast on the page here. Or maybe this is just a fast drying ink. So this is Troublemaker. Abalone. Okay. I'll show you that one up close real quick here before I go on to the next one. So that is lovely. And this seems to be writing darker than the Sailor shading inks that have similar colors. I've had the Sailor, like the Neko Yanagi and the Haha in a variety of different pens, and it writes really dry. Like I'm having some issues, some flow issues with it in my pens because it is so dry. And I was kind of hoping that this would be a little wetter, which it seems to be, but we shall see when I actually put it in a pen. Okay, so this is the Petrichor. Okay. But see, it comes right off of the automatic pen. I was having some issues with the ink flow off of the automatic pen for the Sailor inks, but this one is flowing really nicely, and that is gorgeous. It's almost like a grayish blue with a purple. It's really pretty. Okay, So this one is Troublemaker. Let me see how you spell petrichor, because I'm sure I could get that wrong. Okay. And that one is really lovely too. Just from the swatches, they're behaving much better than some of the other inks that I've been doing for swatches lately. And then by comparison to these two, the Montblanc Toffee Brown is just very boring. And actually now that that has dried completely, it's a lot less interesting in the square here, I think. Although I still think it has some nice shading in the writing. Yeah. But of these two, I mean, they're both beautiful, but I think I prefer the petrichor. It's really, really pretty. But they're light, but they're not so light that you can't read them. They're really, really nice. Okay. Well, that is all that I wanted to do today. Let's go ahead and get the tops of those back in the frame. There we go. All right, thank you for joining me. Feel free to subscribe to the channel so you can keep track of what's going on in the future. I still have a steady stream of videos to come, so please subscribe and keep track. All right, thanks so much. Thanks for joining me today. Bye-bye.